Good evening. You know what time it is? It's coffee time. That's right. With Dr. Michael Sanchez. How's everyone doing today on this beautiful Thursday evening? Hallows Eve. My favorite holiday. One of my favorite holidays tomorrow, Halloween. And with that, we want to talk about all paranormal today. All paranormal. The show title is Phasmophobia. Everybody's been asking, folks been asking me, what is that? That's the fear of ghosts. So yeah. So I figured that'd be a nice title for today's topic. Again, it's going to be all in paranormal, and I'm going to have guest Eva Bilby and her friend, my good friend Lorraine Carey, to talk about it. See if we can get them in here and yeah, so they can talk about their stories. And anyone who wants to join, you can join in as well. And let's see if we can get this going. Hey Eva, you there?
I'm here, Michael.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Are you?
I'm good. How the folks over there acting up on this Hallows Eve?
Um, I haven't seen much of any folks at all tonight.
Do they celebrate it just as over there just as much as they do here?
um, Tomorrow night, yes, there will be.
They do, but no Halloween Eve parties or anything like that.
Well, I'm going to one myself.
Ah,
Yes,
what?
everybody will be dressing up, and there is a singer on who I often get up and sing with him when he's around.
So are you going to be doing that tonight or tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Tomorrow night. Nice, night. Now, you guys do that late or a certain time of the evening? What?
It starts about 7 o'clock in the evening. It will go on till late.
Wow, wow. I haven't been
Yeah,
to a Halloween party in ages. The last time
yeah.
I did anything on Halloween, I scared the crap out of quite a few people. I'm surprised the cops weren't. I'm surprised the cops weren't called. I was just bad. I was really bad. Yeah,
Were
what
you
are you gonna
being
do?
yourself? Were you being yourself, or were you being
No,
like
but
Frankenstein's mum?
my favorite character is, of course, Michael Myers from Halloween.
Right,
And I think I do a pretty good impression of him. I do a good job, and I just scared the crap out of a lot of people.
right.
One of them was my mother. I thought she was going to have a heart attack. I shouldn't have done that. Should
Oh, that was not nice, Michael. That was not
Yeah,
nice.
well, I didn't know. I had no idea. It's a prank that I did. I was dressed up, of course. Everything, knife, everything, and I was knocking in the backyard door, and
Uh
she decided to go open the door. Now, why would she do that?
huh.
She did. She did. I was like, but yeah, it was a scene from a Hollywood movie. It was wild.
Oh.
Bless her heart. She reminded me yesterday about that. Like, oh, I'm sorry, mom. And that's been years since I've done that.
Oh,
Anyway,
well, I'm going to be dressing up as a witch tomorrow night.
you have a favorite character that you like to dress up as or anything like that?
Not in particular, no.
No, no.
No, not in particular. Just wear a ragged black gown and black clothes underneath. And I draw the line. I will not wear a pointed hat.
Okay, gotcha. So, tonight it's going to be all paranormal stuff. So I'm going to have you and Lorraine when she gets here. I know she had to do something. I don't know if she's out there, but I'm going to leave it to you guys to talk about this paranormal stuff, some stories you can talk about and whatnot, and hopefully the audience can join in as well.
Yes, I think we might cover a few different topics tonight, Michael.
Sounds good to me. Let's
Yeah.
see if Let's see if I can get Lorraine in here. Lorraine, you out there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clear. Yes.
Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Eva. Hi, Michael.
Hey, hey, hey.
Happy
So,
Hallows Eve.
are you gonna go partying tonight?
Oh
Tomorrow?
gosh, no, we're gonna be,
No,
we're just gonna stay home. We're gonna be party poopers.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I said, like I was telling Eve, it's been years since I've done that. Since I've been stopped being a bad boy.
Uh oh.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Well, anyway, so again, tonight's show it's about all paranormal. Hence the title, Phasmophobia. The fear of ghosts, but there's more than that as well. And you guys are, I guess, the experts on that. So uh,
I
talk
don't
about
know
it.
about expert, but Lorraine might be. I'm certainly not.
Oh, Ava, come on. Hey, she's pretty good, let me tell you.
Yeah. So you have a story to tell to the audience?
Well, thought tonight I would like to discuss orbs.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Orbs.
Love it.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go.
Right. Okay. You sounded then, Michael, like you were unsure what orbs are.
I have no idea, but the show is yours. Educate me.
Right. Now I'm not very good at explaining things. I tend to complicate things. Lorraine, can you describe orbs in an easy to understand way?
Yeah, from what I understand, they're spirit. They usually appear like circular forms. They can be large or small. Some are clear, some have a nucleus. But what they are is they are compacted energy. They're souls from spirits from different realms, and they usually float. They float according to the frequency. If they're a high frequency, I've been told they'll fly high or they'll fly low. If it's a child spirit that are very playful, they're going to kind of move very, very quickly, and usually we talk about orbs, the fae, from the fairy kingdom, they prevalent. They have a lot of tiny orbs, and they tend to have like a twinkling blue shape. But they're spirit, and like I said, it doesn't have to be a full blown apparition. An orb is a spirit. Like I said, some are clear, some have a nucleus. And if you look closely at some orbs, you can see it's like a web that's inside of them. So I'll let Ava, because Ava's got quite a story on orbs, so I'll let her take it from here.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead, Ava.
So when I was doing my spiritual work in mediumship, we used to go away several times a year on like a workshop retreat for the weekend or the week, whatever. And we used to stay at this um, fabulous hotel near Scarborough, that's in North Yorkshire. And the hotel was called the Cobra Hill. And it had quite a reputation for being haunted. And there was two or three other ladies who we were the naughty ones. We always used to hang around together and do crazy things. Anyway, one night when we were staying there, all the all the other people who were there on the retreat with us had gone up early to bed about 10 o'clock, 10:30. We decided to stay up late and sit around in this, it was like a big communal lounge with easy chairs all around. And so we decided we would go in there because that was one of the rooms that had the reputation for being haunted. So we switched off the light and we positioned ourselves in 4 different seats around this large room, and we all sat there in the dark and started recording with our phones. And so we were sat around for like 15 minutes in the dark, each of us recording, and obviously we couldn't see what was going to come out until we played the video back.
Hmm.
And we couldn't believe the activity of the orbs that night. When we played our videos back, oh my God, some of these orbs were quite big and they moved pretty fast in a horizontal direction. Some of them were quite small and they didn't move quite as fast. But we were all concentrating on the centre of the room. So with us all sat positioned in different places, we were looking at these orbs when we played them back from different aspects. So if I saw an orb moving horizontally to one of my friends who was sat at, say, 9:15 or 9 o'clock, I don't know how you would say it, she would see the orb coming towards her. And we were all having different views of the way these orbs were moving around the room. Absolutely astounded. And when we played them back, it was amazing. And
Now,
the
are
annoying
these
thing
orbs
was, sorry,
are these
Michael.
orbs are they harmless?
Oh, they're harmless, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, the no harm came to any of us anyway. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sat here talking to you. But no, it was absolutely amazing to see. Now, the only other occasion when I have seen orbs, and it wasn't on a camera, it was in broad daylight. A friend and I had gone to Poland, to Krakow, for a city break, and while we were there, we visited Auschwitz, and not out of for any sinister reasons. We felt we wanted to go to pay our respects to those who had died there. And we looked around all these sheds that used to be the dormitories with the triple bunk beds and things like that. And we did, we had a tour guide taking us around. And then we went to the shower block. Now, the shower block, as you may or may not know, was where the Nazis used to release the gas.
Hmm.
And this was broad daylight. And that room, the shower room, was full of orbs. And those are the only two occasions I saw them with my bare eyes at Auschwitz, but only on a camera in the dark at the hotel. And I said to my friend when we came out, because everybody was quiet the while the tour guide was explaining things. And when we came out, I said to Alison, "Did you see all those orbs in there?" And she looked at me wide-eyed and, "What? What are you talking about?" "The orbs, you know, floating around in the room. Big ones, small ones." She said, "No, I didn't see anything." So, uh, I mean, Lorraine and I have discussed this, haven't we, Lorraine?
Yes,
And
we have. Yes.
we feel that it is empaths who actually see these paranormal activity.
Now, You mentioned Auschwitz, and you've seen those orbs there. Now, are they because of trapped spirits? I mean, a lot of folks weren't ready to die. So, is it because of that?
Exactly. Um, Trapped spirits, but really the other explanation is they're free and
Wow.
they're at peace.
Hmm.
I know, horrible things went on there, but I like to think of those spirits being at peace.
Interesting. What do you say, Lala?
Well, I told Ava, I could not handle it. I probably would have, no, she's very brave. I mean, there's certain places that I'll go, but that place, no, I probably would have crumbled. No,
I
she's
can
very
imagine. Yeah,
brave.
horrible stories. Now,
Oh my God, just unbelievable.
did you dream about it, Ava? Afterwards, had dreams or anything like that?
No, I don't think so, but I mean, I have lots of weird dreams anyway, and I'm sure Lorraine will say the same.
Yeah, places like that probably give me the EBGBs. You know what I mean? Because it's just a lot of bad things happen there. I don't
Yes,
think I can handle it myself. If you know the story, the history.
right.
Interesting. How about you, Lorraine? You have a
Well,
story about regarding that?
yeah, I've got, we talked about what we were going to talk about. And yeah, I've seen orbs too. In fact, I got a picture when we went to Rome. I think it was in St. Peter's Basilica. I got quite a few blue orbs. But see, that place didn't give me the creeps. It was more so spiritual. I mean, you walk in there, I mean, it brings you to your knees, it just because it's so holy and spiritual. But yeah, anyway, I guess even I can go back and forth. That way we're not and I was going to talk about a paranormal experience that I had in Italy, but I'm going to start by saying this statement, and I think it's golden, and I think it's true. And you've probably heard this statement before about spirit. They walk among us from different frequencies, and that's what I believe. It's all about energy and frequencies. Anyway, when we went to Italy, my husband surprised me. I think it was for my birthday. We went to a small village called Pacentro. That's where my mother's family, my grandma came from. Some of my aunts and uncles were born there. And it's a medieval village. I mean, it goes way back. It's got like a medieval castle. And he goes, I want you to go see your ancestors. So we go there, and we stayed in a 1,000-year-old villa. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. So we take a walk one morning, and we get to the top of the hill, and the church there, the church bells ring three times. And my husband goes, oh, well, just look around. And then there are three howls from wolves. Now, behind Pacentro is the Magellan Forest, and it's got a lot of stories of its own with things that happened back there. And wolves are known to be back there. So, three howls of the wolves. I turn to my left, and there's a real small shrine with Our Lady, Virgin Mother, and it's just like in the bank, like on a hillside with a little waterfall. And I go over there. My husband goes, go over there, go into the little stream. So I take my shoes off and I go into where there's like water falling and everything. Oh my God, my feet, when I hit the ground, it was like spark, not like I was, hurting, but like sparks were like going from my feet. I felt, how can I say this? There was a connection in there. Like I was totally on ancestral ground. So
What was
that night we go to the cemetery because we were looking for relatives' graves. And in this small town, because my grandma's maiden name was Marchionda. Well, half of the cemetery is the Marchionda family. So, we're looking around, and the cemetery is all gated, with these, you go in and these big iron gates, they close. We parked our rental car outside. So we're looking around. Pretty soon, bang, the iron gates close. And my husband goes, I think we're trapped in here. So, which
Whoa.
we were. How are we going to get out of here? Because it was all gated in. So we looked around, we walked back, and there was like, they were doing construction. So there was like the gate ended, but then there was like a drop off, like a cliff, like a 50-foot drop. So, oh my God, how are we going to get out of here? So he crawls around the gate and then he pulls me by my arm. Eventually we get out and he's saying to me, you know what? He goes, I think your ancestors want you to stay here.
Oh,
And I
wow.
thought about it. I thought, yeah. So then we go to dinner, small little cafe. We're still in the village. And they're playing really old, like 60s music. I felt like I was like back in time. So I go to the restroom, which is way in the back. And I got locked in there. I could not open the door. It just locked. And I'm pounding on the door. It was a small restaurant. And I'm going, someone's got to hear me. I'm in there maybe 10 minutes. Finally, the waitress comes by and she opens up. She goes, no one ever, there's not even a lock on here. How did you get locked in here? So I go back to the table and tell my husband, he goes, I told you, they don't want you to leave. Yeah.
Whoa.
So it's kind of like, you were meant to be there.
What is the significance when the three bells and then the three wolves howling? What's
Three goes back to always, it's the three of the Holy Spirit. When things happen in threes, that's a very significant symbol of spirituality. They say the Holy Spirit. Yeah, that's why I say you've heard things happen in threes.
right, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did it raise
Yeah.
an eyebrow? I'm sure when that happened, did it kind of give you the heebie-jeebies?
Who, my husband?
You,
Oh, me? No,
no?
no, because I knew. And I'm going to tell you something. My cousin on my mother's side, my mother's sister's, her son, my cousin, when he went over there, he had almost similar experiences. So when you think about it, yeah, your ancestors, their energy is there, and they know you're there. They know you're there. What do you think about that, Ava?
Oh, I totally agree, Lorraine. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Um, and just like they, uh, we know they're there, they know where we are as well.
Oh, they
And
do.
I always, um, I mean, I've lost mum and dad, two older brothers and friends. I always know when they're around me. I
Yes.
can feel it.
Yes. That is
I
so true. That is so true.
absolutely feel it. And it's um, a very, very comforting feeling.
It is.
And
It's not scary, is it? It's not a
no, there's
scary
nothing
feeling.
scary about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So do
And yes,
you see that, Ava, do you see like any signs of any kind to let you know they're there?
oh yeah, the
Did you say white feathers?
white feathers, the
Hmm.
white feather appears from somewhere and you don't know where it's come from. Like, for instance, if I found a white feather in my bedroom on the carpet, well, my duvet does not have feathers in it. My pillows don't have feathers in them.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Interesting.
white feathers, robins, butterflies,
Yes.
um, and coins.
Yes.
Coin.
Coins. Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm. Now, is it
Mhm.
like specific places that will show up? Like how will they appear?
sorry.
How will they appear?
Well,
Like
you
a
just,
specific place or whatnot? How's that happen?
for instance, um, a few years back, maybe about 6 or 7 years, I was sharing a house with a friend in a local town, and I was I have already started a book about my mediumship, which is just my journey. And But I was working on the final part of the Hurt trilogy. I was working on Scars at the time. And every time I sat down to write, say another chapter of the Scars, 10 minutes after I started writing, I used to get this really sickly feeling, like really nauseous. And then I used to have to come off the computer and go and lie down.
Hmm.
And it was every time I sat down to write the Scars. And I couldn't understand why. I mean, I could sit up, I could sit at the dining table, and I didn't feel nauseous. So why was I feeling nauseous every time every time I sat at the computer to write? So I phoned my mediumship mentor and I said, "What's going on, Deborah?" I said, "I don't understand it. I'm trying to sit down and work on the final part of my trilogy, and yet every time I sit down at the computer, 10 minutes in, and I start feeling nauseous. But if I'm not writing, if I'm going around doing housework or whatever, I wasn't getting this nauseous feeling." But Deborah knew I'd started on my mediumship journey, and she said, "I think Spirit's trying to tell you something. Um, you're not meant to be working on the Scars. You're meant to be working on your spiritual journey." And I thought, "Oh, right, okay." So anyway, my friend said to me, "Right, let's go out. You need some fresh air. You've been stuck in the house for 2 or 3 days while you're on holiday from work." So we went out to a local park, and when we arrived, this robin sat on the gate, and as we were approaching the gate to go into the park, this robin nodded its head at me
Oh.
twice and flew off.
Huh. What do you
And
think
I
that
thought,
meant?
right, okay. I took that to mean you're doing the right thing by getting out of the house. You
Wow.
know, okay. So when I went back up, instead of opening my manuscript for the Scars, I opened my manuscript for my spiritual journey, my mediumship journey book, and no more nauseous, no more nauseous feelings. And so I fully believe that Deborah was right when she said, "Spirit do not want you to work on the Scars at the minute. They want you to work on your mediumship journey." And that must have been the case. And when my friend took me out to the park, the robin was nodding to say, "Yes, you've done the right thing getting out of the house."
Interesting. You ever get that feeling,
Honestly,
Lala?
Oh yeah. You know, with Ava, the robin was her messenger. You know, you've heard the messenger comes in many forms, and
oh
it's
yeah,
usually it's animals. And that robin was, and you know, it was nature. Usually, when you go back, and I know Ava will concur to this. When you go back to nature, I mean, that's God's work. I mean, that's where you get the real grounding, right, Ava?
absolutely.
That was her
Couldn't agree
confirmation.
more. I couldn't agree
Yes,
more.
that was
Now,
her confirmation.
is there a certain creature or whatnot that or symbol that you should not see?
I've
I've always
not,
heard it was a snake. You know, I always get bad feelings when I see a snake for some reason.
Yep.
I don't know if
Yep.
it's that. I don't know because represent devil. But I just when I see snakes, I get the chills. I get
Yeah.
really
I
bad
can't comment
feelings.
on that, Lorraine,
Go
because
ahead, Ava. Go ahead.
I can't comment on that because we don't have snakes in the UK.
Oh,
Those snakes.
wait a minute. Not even one.
Oh yeah,
Those snakes.
we
I go to
do.
the snakes. I don't do.
We get grass snakes or adders, but
Okay.
I mean, if you sought medical attention, they're not they're not harm. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
But I've never seen one. I
Ah,
Well,
mean,
we
we
got
I've
have
walked
them
over
here.
there then. We no snakes.
I've walked over the moors and places like that. I've never seen a snake outdoors. The only time I've seen a snake is if I've been to a zoo
I
or
need
a
to move.
wildlife
I need
park.
to move over to the
Yeah, to move over
UK.
there. Yeah, 'cause, there's
Get
snakes
me
over
out of
here.
Florida.
There's snakes over here. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but
Oh yes.
talking about getting nauseous and things happening when you're writing, and I hope this doesn't scare. I'll take it a step, kind of like this is a good segue into a story. I was in Cayman at the time, and I'll take that back. We went to that time. We went to Rome. Then we went to Picentro. We went to Rome. We went to visit. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the cult of the Vestals. They were kind of like priestesses. They were a cult, and it was during the 7th century in Rome. And the Vestal Virgins. Have you heard of them, Michael?
No, no, I've not.
Yeah, they were a cult, and they were chosen by this chief priest called the Pontifex Maximus, and they honored the goddess Vesta, and there was a temple in Rome. I mean, it's amazing. It's still there, and they would choose these young girls from ages 6 to 10. Okay, and they would take a vow of chastity for 30 years, and they would serve Rome, and they would keep this flame lit. It was called the eternal flame, and it was the flame of the goddess. And if the flame would go out, they thought that Rome would, it would be catastrophe. And they had various duties during their role of being a Vestal Virgin. They could go to the games. They would do like accounting. They would take care of the statues and a lot of the treasury in Rome. And they were regarded as like someone high up. And let's just say you were a criminal and you were on your way to prison. If you saw a Vestal in your path, you were to be set free. But anyway, like I said, they lasted until I think it was they were banned in somehow 394 AD by Theodosius, but I think it was Constantine who said it was not Christian like, and he did away with all the Vestals. Anyway, so we
Interesting.
went to Rome. We visited the temple, with the Vesta. So then we went on to Pompeii. Okay, and in Pompeii there was another house of the Vestals. They had a house, a small. They're ruins, in Pompeii. So we had a tour guide, and she was a history major. And I've always been fascinated by anything ancient Rome. So I went back into the forum, the little house, and there was like a courtyard with like a pedestal out back. And it was like, in ruins, like a half of a pedestal. And I said to her, "Can I touch it?" This is the tour guide. She goes, "Yeah, go ahead." So I touched the pedestal, and I got like electrocuted. I mean, remember how I said in the spring, Pacentro, I had little sparks. This was like, I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital. I was like shocked. And she's like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And I told the tour guide, I got shocked. I mean, I thought I was going to have to go by ambulance. It was like from my fingers, I went all the way up my arm. And I looked at her and she goes, "You've made contact." And I said, "Oh my God." And I knew what happened at that point. And, this lasted for an hour. And I even said to my husband, "It's still there. It's not going to go away. We're going to have to go to the hospital." But eventually it went away. But I knew I made contact. Anyway, long story short, got back to the island. And I knew I had to write the book, The Last Vestal Virgin. So while I'm writing The Last Vestal Virgin, I'm going to try to speed this up because I don't want to take up this whole hour. I'm writing in the condo and I'm writing about the goddess and, this and that. all of a sudden, I'm looking at my right arm right now, my right arm gets 3 red slashes, like burns. And it was
Whoa.
burning. Yeah, 3 slashes. I'm like, what the heck is that? And it burning. So I stopped writing because, and something just told me stop writing. And it was like almost like second-degree burn. So yeah. So I went to the doctor and she looked at it and she goes, you must have been by the stove. I was not cooking at all that day. So I just took that as, you know what? Maybe somebody or one of the goddesses or maybe one of the vessels just doesn't want me to write this story. But anyway, I did take a break for a while, about a couple weeks, came back to it and I was fine. But I just think there was that connection there. And talk about the slashes, the 3 slashes. If a Vestal Virgin back in ancient Rome broke her vow of chastity or did something she wasn't supposed to do, she was slashed with a whip, or could be even buried alive. So there you go. I mean, it's creepy, but I mean, I have nothing else to attribute it to. But that was I had channeled one of the goddesses, and either she was pissed off because the story maybe she didn't want the story to be told, or I don't know. Eva, what do you think about that?
That's a fascinating story,
I
Lorraine.
still have the scars. I still have the scars.
Seriously, yeah? How long ago when did this happen?
Well, let's just see. We were 2014, I believe.
Wow.
You must
Mm-hmm.
have done something to piss them off.
She did something,
Something.
yeah.
I don't
Now
think.
that's the kind of story you want to tell everybody, right? Now, how many people have you told that story to?
Actually, a lot of people know it. A lot of people know that story. I
Now, do
think that I
they
was on a
believe you?
blog one time.
Do they believe you, or are they,
Some do and some don't. My doctor that I went to, and I told her about, I was writing. She really didn't say much. She probably thought I was a lunatic. I don't know, but I don't know. But I can say, whether people believe me or not, it happened. It happened for a reason. And like I said, it's just either somebody was pissed off or maybe I misrepresented one of them in my story, which I was very careful in my research. I tried not to, but I'm not going there again with any of that.
That's creepy. Yeah.
It is very creepy.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story, Lorraine,
Hmm. Yeah.
and it is fascinating.
I mean, they were burns. They were like second-degree burns. I remember the doctor gave me ointment and, oh, you must have been by the stove. I did not cook it all that day. I was nowhere near the stove. So it's just something that's totally unexplainable.
Where
Like I said,
were you? Where were you when this happened?
I
Where's
was
the house?
writing in the dining room of my condo, nowhere near a flame, nowhere near heat.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that really annoys me when they say, "Oh, you must have been."
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No,
You
no,
must
I
have been by
bloody
the
wasn't.
stove.
Well, you can
No, I
understand
wasn't by the
their
stove.
yeah, you can understand why they're they're a lot of little hesitant in believing something like that. It's just kind of
Yeah,
wild. It's a wild story.
yeah. And
You know what?
thinking, what's that?
I would just, I wouldn't be writing that story at all. You know what? I would just put it away. I say, forget about it.
Well,
Forget
I
about it.
wanted to finish it. I wanted to finish it, but it's like I don't know. I mean, things like that haven't happened. I've written a lot of other stories, post that, but nothing has ever like that happened to me since then during writing. But
Hey, but you haven't had anything like that at all happen to you?
Sorry,
You had anything like that happen to you?
no, there was just the nausea when I was
nausea.
writing the scars.
Nausea.
That's
Nausea.
that's the only occasion. But Michael, can I turn things round on you now?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you if you have any paranormal experiences? Have you seen a ghost
I'm
or
always feeling things. I'm always feeling things and seeing things, but I think it's just, me getting older, losing my freaking mind.
Oh, no, no,
Right?
no.
But I have been feeling things and seeing certain things since I was a kid. So you know, and sometimes I know things, and people are, I've had family members say, "Well, how do you know that?" I'm like, I don't know. I just
No,
know.
it
It's just a
sounds to
certain
me
feeling.
like you
Yeah.
could possibly be an empath yourself,
I
Michael.
think he is.
I have no idea. All I know is that it's a creepy feeling, and to this day, I feel like somebody's always messing with me when I'm asleep. It's
Yeah, you've
always
said that. You have said
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. I'm always getting that feeling. Ever since I was a kid, it just hasn't
Wow.
hasn't gone away. Creepy.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
But you ever like I say you ever drive, I'm driving or whatnot, and I always swear I see something like on the side of the road, could be in the woods, wooded area, whatnot, and then once I approach it, it's just a piece of wood, a tree or something like that, a bush,
uh-huh.
but it
I've
looks like that.
experienced that. Yes, I have experienced that. Yes.
It happens quite a bit, but it's been
Yes.
going on for years. I always get, am I losing my mind? You know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah, I always question myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm
I
losing it.
think that too. Yeah, it looks like it's something else. And then when you get there, right, it's just like a bush or it's a tree stump. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
I kind of have an explanation for that. And let's see what Ava thinks about that. Because, like I said, she's kind of, I really believe that there are parallel universes. And I think we can slip, people can travel between. And I think when we see an image like that, that's a traveler and they're just for a split second they're going between dimensions. I don't know, Eva, what do you think about that?
Um, I'm not sure, Lorraine. Not sure on that one at all.
It's an odd thing, and have you guys heard about nomads?
I've heard of that. Yes,
There are people that travel, they're travelers.
Yes,
Same thing
yes,
between dimensions. And, people say, well, I talked to these people. Well, they weren't really there. They were traveling between dimensions. There was a movie out years ago that I watched called Nomads, and it was quite interesting. And I did some research on it, and yeah, they're there.
interesting.
hmm,
Kind of like the stories about the black-eyed children. You've heard of them?
No, I have not.
no,
No.
Yeah, they're also trapped time travelers. Yeah, look into the black-eyed children. They supposedly if they come to your door, people said you're not supposed to let them in because once they're in, they've taken your soul.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, we're
oh,
not going to go there.
no,
yeah.
let's not go
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I want to sleep tonight. You know
Don't
what I
let
mean?
them in. Do not let them
Let's
in.
not go.
No,
But
No.
it's not good.
coming back to seeing things at the side of the road, where I live, well, just as you leave in town, there is a little bit of a bridge that goes over. It's you wouldn't call it a beck or a river, um, but a little bit of a stream, nothing major. And the bridge that goes over it is called White Lass Bridge, and it was called White Lass Bridge for a reason, because many people over the years travelling along that road late at night have seen this white lady, as in white lass, and that is where the bridge got its name from.
Wow.
And I know one or two people locally who have witnessed, who have seen the white lass at the side of the road. Now, that is one of my exit routes from town. I have to go over this white lass bridge, and I've been along that road late at night, but I have never seen the white lass, but some people have.
Huh.
Wow. Now,
Have
Eva,
you?
what would you do if you see it? What would your reaction be?
Um, I'd probably slow down.
Really? You slow down.
I prob-
Rough on the
yeah.
hills. That's
I
Yes.
where
mean,
I go.
not that I think she's there because she's going to nick me for speeding, but I would slow down
Yeah.
because I'm very curious. I mean, I have
Absolutely.
seen ghosts before, as I think I mentioned it the last time I was on the show, Michael.
Yes, yes.
And I have seen ghosts, and they don't scare me.
That's all.
But
That's
yeah,
all
I
right.
would slow down. I would be curious.
Curious.
Um,
Curiosity killed the cat. You know that,
That's
right?
right. Oh,
I don't think so. I would just let it be. Have you researched the history about this ghost or whatnot?
no, not really. Um, but I know. Well, I haven't bothered researching it, but I do know from legend has it this ghost of this white lass. She's been haunting the side of that road for quite some time, quite a lot of years. That's
Hmm.
why they named the bridge after her.
Wow.
Um, so I don't need to know any more than that.
I'll
yeah.
make
Um,
sure I
I'm
don't
not.
go by there. If I ever visit your hometown or whatever, I'll avoid it. I'll
I
avoid
want.
it.
I'm. I'm not a big person for researching into history. I've never been that way inclined.
Right on.
Um, I'm more interested in the future than the past.
Gotcha. Oh, I love history. That's probably what I would be doing. I'll be looking at finding the
Yes.
history of it. Yeah, because I want to know what's up with that.
I wonder if she met an untimely death.
Yeah, right.
Probably. That's why she's still roaming.
Could be, could be. Some of them, I, I think, and you'll have probably heard this as well, Lorraine, that um, when these people who haunt like roads and hotels and various country manors, that when when a place is haunted, it means that um, the the person who's died has not accepted their death, so they
Yes.
just don't move on.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
Yes.
trapped. They're trapped in
They're
that
trapped.
time. Yeah,
Yes.
they don't know how to get out. They're because it's
They need
untimely.
someone to
They
help
aren't
them
ready,
cross
prepared for
over.
it. Yeah. Wow. That's creepy. No, 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 no. I will not stop if I may think there's a ghost there or whatever. No, I'll just head on the gas and just keep on. You know what I mean? I see enough things. You know what I mean that I shouldn't be seeing or believe I'm seeing. That's.
uh-huh.
But see, I don't tell a
I,
lot of people that. But now everybody's going to know that. What's wrong with that mic? What's so wrong with Mike?
I'll tell you what, Michael, if you say you've experienced things and felt things for a lot of years, I would love to hear some of your stories one night.
I would too.
Someday, yeah, maybe we can bring another show again with the same topic, and I'll maybe say a
Yeah,
thing
I
or two.
think Lorraine and I ought to turn the questions round on you, Michael.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll put him on the stand.
Absolutely.
Yo, listen to that guy. He's weird, man. He's got some weird stories.
No, that's not
Let
weird.
him know what it feels like to be on the other side.
Hey, you guys messing around with that stuff. You know what I mean? With some warlock or something like that. Warlock.
Have
I'm a
we not
warlock.
got anybody who's got any questions tonight?
Yeah. Anybody out there got a question or two before we shut the show down? It's been an interesting topic. I'm really enjoying this topics.
I am too. It's always good. It's good to talk about it because when you talk about it, it almost gives you validation because you're reliving it. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you keep it inside and you don't tell anybody, you're the only person that knows about it. So it's
Exactly,
Absolutely,
just good to get it
absolutely.
out.
But
exactly.
you gotta be around the folks that are open minded as
That's
well.
right.
That not just
Otherwise,
that
correct.
you're some freak.
Yes, because
Yeah,
and like if anybody, if you don't experience it, it's hard to relate to it. So
Exactly.
yeah, definitely,
Exactly.
definitely.
But yeah, I'll definitely yeah, we'll do another one, and
that would
you
be
know,
great.
I'll share. I will definitely share.
That would be
I really
great.
enjoyed the topic. You guys are awesome. You know that?
Well, we enjoy being on the show. This is a great show. It's
It
very
is a great show.
casual talk and relaxing, and we feel free to talk, say what we want, and
Uh-huh.
it's freedom of speech here. So thank you, Michael.
But it was,
Yes, thank
yeah.
you,
I'm not gonna,
Michael.
I'm not gonna turn you away. This is interesting topics. So,
It
I
is.
always believe in that. Ghosts, spirits, different dimensions, all that stuff. I believe in that.
Hmm.
So,
I
again,
know.
you got to be open minded. You got to just listen and you know.
So yeah, Lorraine and I will have to get our heads together and come up with 20 questions for
I love
Michael.
that. Yes, we will have questions for you, Michael.
Oh man, you're gonna bombard. Oh my God, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Well, ladies, you guys have been great. You're definitely gonna send you this so y'all can share it with your folks over
That
there.
would be great. Thank you, Michael.
That would
It
be lovely. Thank you,
was
Michael.
definitely a pleasure. Hey, you guys enjoy your Halloween and y'all be safe out there, you know?
Oh,
Everybody,
absolutely.
happy Halloween and stay safe.
Yes, happy Halloween. Stay
Awesome.
safe,
Bye, everyone. Thank
everybody.
you, Michael. Bye, Ava.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Wow.
Bye,
Even
Lorraine. Bye, Michael.
Bye.
Jerry. Wow, they're awesome.
Bye.
Interesting
Bye bye.
topics. Have a good one.
You too.
Interesting topics. Um, yeah, definitely gonna have another show where we go with the same topic because that's pretty cool. Maybe they can hear the stuff I've I've experienced. I don't know. Again, like I said, you gotta have folks that are open minded and are willing to listen. I mean, I'm not the only one that experienced things like that. Quite a few folks that have and just afraid to speak up. You know what I mean? Because they're afraid that people will look at them funny or whatnot, or talk about them when things like that happen. It does happen. Anyway, again, tomorrow is Halloween. You folks out there have a wonderful Halloween. Enjoy it. You stay safe out there. You know what I mean? Trick or treat. You know what I mean? Oh, also pray for those folks over there in Jamaica. They got spanked pretty hard with that monster storm. So pray for them, and you know, hopefully they'll be okay over there because it was just a mess. But anyway, again, you have a happy Halloween. Stay safe out there, and you know what I say? Don't forget your coffee. Have a great one.